Welcome back to Tiny Blue Games. My name's of course Sisa or Chris, and today we're talking about Final Fantasy XIV in 2020. Today we are finally going to use this magical bottle of Fantasia. It has been burning a hole in my inventory. I've been very excited to use it. Not that I dislike who I am, or my character rather, but I just wanted to try it out and see what it's like. I think it's a really cool feature that the game offers, and it seems like a really fun thing to do. Now, I do know it can be kind of a slippery slope, and this might be my gateway Fantasia, if you will, but I'm willing to take the risk and try it out, because I think our next chapter into the new expansion deserves a new look, deserves a new feel, and we're gonna test it out. But before that, I wanted to remember what it was, what our first journey was together, because this really has been our journey. It's been a year already of playing Final Fantasy XIV, and I owe it all to you guys. You guys have helped me learn so much about the game. You've really inspired me to keep going, to keep exploring different aspects of the game that I might not have checked out, and more than anything, you've inspired me to make more YouTube videos. Before this year, I really took YouTube very casually. I made a video every so often just because I could, but now I almost feel a commitment to it. I want to see this thing through. I want to get to the next step of the journey, and I owe that feeling to you guys. It's been so nice going through this game and sharing it with you, because this game, more than anything, does a great job of making it feel like your character is a part of a larger world. It makes it feel like you do have a place in Final Fantasy XIV, and that you are experiencing a much bigger journey. But yeah, I just wanted to go through some of my favorite scenes, some of my favorite costumes, and more importantly, the files that I still had on my computer, and share these memories with you before we make a large change, which I'm really excited to do, and we'll be together for that journey as well. But there you go. Let's see what we choose to do. You're probably wondering what character I decided to create, what race I went with, and it took a little while for me to figure out what I wanted to make. It's actually been something I've been considering for the last, I want to say even like a month. I don't know how long it's been since I hit 50, but I've been really trying to figure out what I do want to make, and what I think would look nice in multiple different classes, because I guess that's the hardest part of the way that Final Fantasy XIV works, is that unlike other games where you typically make different characters for each of your different classes, or jobs as you would call them in this game, you do have the one character that plays all of the jobs, and yes, you can change up how your armor and stuff looks like that, but I do kind of want a character that will work for a lot of those. And I did go with Lalafell. A few of you might have thought I didn't go that way just from my my reactions to the Parting Glass cutscene. There was some betrayal, and it often was in the form of Lalafell, but there's something about them. They're mischievous, but like trustworthy. I don't know. I think it's the facial hair, honestly, and we'll see later on in this video that I do debate a mustache for a little while, but ultimately we keep myself looking quite fresh and, very, very cute. I think primarily, I've always been a big fan of having very short, very small characters. I specifically love having very short, very small tanks and like heavy armor characters, because I think that typically we don't see that in other games, right? Usually it is the bigger characters that are allowed to be the tanks. This obviously has been changing over time, but I've always loved having like a gnome tank in WoW or something like that, something really different, and I think that's pretty fun here. Obviously, I'm not a tank right now, so I had to consider if I did enjoy the idea of being a scholar or a healer, or what other class or job might be coming soon on Lalafell. So I did consider that for a while, but I did ultimately think this was the best choice. I took a while on haircuts. I think hair is one of the biggest stylistic choices you can make in an MMO for some reason. I just think that really, because a lot of MMOs, even if they don't have great customization, and don't get me wrong, Final Fantasy XIV does have a lot of great choices. You often have the ability to remove or hide your helmet. So the way you keep your haircut, is a pretty good way to express yourself on a character. And because of that, it does make it a pretty interesting choice. You also have access to one of the biggest pops of color that your character can have, specifically in newer games where they have access to more crazier hairs that could be dyed and stuff like that. One of my biggest favorite parts of Final Fantasy XIV is that you do have the two colors, so you can kind of do the nice highlight looks, and I think that really gives texture to the hair, and it feels very very modern for a game that did come out quite a while ago. So it does look really cool, and it just looks so soft and fuzzy. I just love, I don't know, I love the way the hair looks. It feels nice as it just sort of flows down. I tried to get some like reddish colors that I liked, but they often ended up pink, and I didn't, I wasn't a big fan of the pink, so I kind of stayed closer to the blonde. Then we went and fiddled around with some of the face features. I find that the face and nose and like those kind of features are the most disappointing parts of Final Fantasy XIV's character customization. I talked a lot more about this, and I did a video, I think like a few weeks ago now, that compared character creation amongst 5 of the biggest MMOs, and ultimately, I did really enjoy Final Fantasy XIV's character customization, but just the options you have for faces, like with noses and mouths and stuff like that, really felt like they were almost the same option. Like, you'll even see me going through here, and I'll be clicking one, and then I'll click the second option, and I'll be like, these are almost the exact same option. What's changing here? So I think there could be a bit more of a dramatic change between them, specifically since it is preset options, whereas a lot of games even have the slider bars, or if you go all the way into games like Black Desert Online, which granted has its own share of issues, but the character customization, you have the ability to actually like pull out like different parts of the face and really like sculpt the way your character looks. So I think that was really nice. Now, you do have the ears here, so you're able to do some pretty different stuff. I'm always concerned about making the ears really big and then having them clip through different helmets and stuff like that. It's a big issue I face in Guild Wars 2 on Chars specifically. So I tried to keep them on the smaller side, though I also do not mind the idea of just having no helmet from time to time. This is the mustache decision. I was looking at some of the facial hair options you have, and I was like, ugh. If I do this, I'm not going to be able to trust my own character, and that's a dangerous place to be. If you can't trust your own character, what are you going to do? So I steered away from it in the end, but it was tempting. It was tempting. I was like, maybe I too could rise to power as a mischievous Lalafell with this mustache, and maybe I too could betray my friends. Not that we were really friends, I don't know. I looked too into the mustache. All this to say, it was almost a choice for a while, but in the end, I decided to remove the facial hair and just go the absolute cute route, which I think did well in the end, despite the fact that I really tried to make it work for a while. I don't know. And this is really nothing against facial hair. Like, I have some facial hair in real life. There you go. So you can, now when you're imagining my face when I talk, you can picture a little bit of facial hair. I won't tell you where it is on my face, but somewhere. But yeah, so it was pretty cool. We do have the voice lines, which I think is really cool. They really should just focus on the nods, because that's you have all these expressions, and 90% of the time you're nodding in game, which is kind of unfortunate, though I do suspect that will change as we continue on. But yeah, so I decided to go with a Lalafell. You'll get to see him all dressed up in a second here, but this is the character pretty much, which I think turned out really well. I'm really excited about it. I'm really happy about it. Alrighty, time for the big reveal. Drum roll, please. It's possible I downloaded the wrong sound effect first, but let's do it again. Wazza! There you go. And absolutely stunning, if I do say so myself. I love like this armor just looks really good in general, but it looks really, really cute. And it was this moment here that I just lost myself, and I was like, the dragon lands on your head if you're a Lalafell. This changes everything, absolutely everything. This is the selling point of the game. I couldn't be happier. I look so cute, I look so adorable, but I'm also deadly, which is just great. But yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I hope to get into some Heavensward stuff next week, so be sure to tune in on the weekends for some Final Fantasy adventures. If you are new here, please consider subscribing, liking, commenting, I don't know, hugging. I don't know if you can give me a virtual hug, but everything does help. I love having you along for our journey into the Final Fantasy universe. But thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.